Hello everyone, welcome to my channel The Faiza Edits. If you are tired of cooking Shami Kababs from scratch every single time, this freezer system will change how you cook them forever. I batch cook both chicken and beef Shami Kababs together, freeze them properly, and I'm ready for Ramadan lunch boxes or a quick snack without ever starting from scratch again. I cook beef and chicken separately in two skillets, then show you exactly how to mash, shape, fry, and freeze them so they are ready whenever you need them. For this batch, I'm using 2 packets of chicken breast, 1 packet of boneless thigh, some soaked lentils, onion, and Shami Kabab Packet Masala. That's it. Simple ingredients, minimal spices, maximum flavor. I'm working with 2 skillets at the same time, one for beef shami and one for chicken shami. Beef, I'm using 5.5 pounds of boneless beef. The lentils is 3.5 cups for the chicken and 2.5 cups for beef, and they have been soaked for a few hours. Onions are 3 medium size onions for the beef one and 3 big size onions for the chicken one. Here I have used Laziza Shami Kabab Masala. I also have National one handy. You can use any that you may like, but it basically replaces the need of using whole spices, which my kids personally don't like biting into. Chicken, 2 packets of breast and 1 packet of boneless thigh. That's around 6.5 pounds of breast pieces, and the boneless thigh is around 2 pounds, so that's a total of 8.5 pounds. Exact measurements are in the description and on screen for easy reference. I'm quite generous with ginger garlic paste. I usually add about 4 to 5 tablespoons in each skillet. Since we are cooking in bulk, this really builds that deep flavor into the meat and lentils. I'm starting with about 2 cups of water in each skillet. You don't want to add too much at once. Watch how easily everything goes into the skillet and cooks perfectly. For the beef, I did end up adding about 1 more cup later on. It really depends on how much moisture your meat releases. For the chicken shami kebabs, I like to add a little chicken stock or chicken cubes. It really elevates the flavor to another level. Now everything is cooking together. At this point, it's just about letting it cook through completely. I do like to check on it a few times in between just to make sure nothing sticks or burns at the bottom. Both mixtures should be perfectly tender at this stage. Before turning off the heat, make sure to check a few of the boneless pieces and the lentils to confirm everything is fully cooked. If anything still feels slightly firm, this is the time to add a little more water and let it cook through completely. This step is very important because once we turn off the heat and leave the mixture to dry overnight, we don't want to add any more water. After the mixture has dried, adding water will reintroduce moisture, and that's exactly what we want to avoid, especially if we are planning to freeze it. These electric skillets honestly make bulk cooking so much easier for me. They work like extra stove, so my main burners stay free for everyday cooking. And since I'm using the Packet Shami Kabab Masala, I don't have to add any whole spices separately. That saves time later when grinding. To mash this chicken mixture for shami kebab, you can also use a spatula or even the potato masher to break the small clumps or adjust texture by rubbing it against the skillet surface. My little helper popped in while I was working, tiny hands helping me mash. This perhaps is one of his favorite activities to do. Once mashed or processed, the mixture should be smooth but not watery at all. This is how both my chicken and beef mixtures look. Perfect texture for shaping later. Once both mixtures are completely dry and ready, portion them into Ziploc bags. I also like to label each bag with the date. That way, I always know which batch is the newest and it keeps everything organized in the freezer. This batch I'm portioning doesn't have green masala. I like to add it later. The third portion you'll see next in the video already had it mixed in before freezing though. When storing in Ziplocs, zip them about 85% closed first. Then squeeze out as much air as possible before sealing completely. Apply gentle pressure along the mixture to remove any trapped air. This prevents freezer burn. Portioning also allows you to take out only as much as you can make at one time. See how the empty part of the bag sticks together? That's exactly what you want. No air, no wasted space. This way, each portion is ready to thaw and shape whenever I need. No extra cooking, no last minute stress. Here you can see the portion thawed perfectly overnight in the fridge. The slow thaw keeps the texture just right and prevent excess moisture, so it's ready to shape or fry immediately. After thawing overnight in the fridge, press your finger gently into the mixture. It should feel dry. If it's slightly wet, add breadcrumbs for soft binding or gram flour for firmer kebabs. If you're adding any binding agent, adjust salt to taste. It's always a good idea to shape and fry one kebab first and taste test before making the entire batch. The same shaping technique works for chicken too. See how this batch turned out perfectly after thawing overnight. When shaping the kebabs, use your palms. Place the mixture right in the center of your palm and press firmly, forcing everything together so it binds tightly. Don't rush this step. Reshape and press the mixture a few times. This helps combine everything evenly and prevents cracks later. If you notice cracks forming, the mixture either needs a little more pressing or a touch of moisture. Lightly dampen your palms with water or oil and press again. This makes a big difference. Once the kebab feels firm, gently roll it between both hands to smooth the edges. Keep rotating and smoothing so the width stays even from end to end. This not only gives a clean shape but also helps the kebabs cook evenly and hold their form while frying. Once shaped, all kebabs, beef or chicken, are ready to fry. You can either put them in the freezer bin as is and fry them when needed, but I like to fry and freeze them. I like frying my kebabs in a larger skillet because it comfortably fits more than a dozen at a time. As you can see here, I'm frying about 15 in one go. Compared to a regular frying pan, this cuts my frying time down significantly. When you're batch prepping at this scale, efficiency matters. The faster I move through frying, the sooner everything is cooled, portioned, and in the freezer, ready for real life. I make all the kebabs slightly smaller on purpose, more like a slider bun size. With school lunches and picky moods, smaller portion just makes sense. If they are hungry, they'll grab another, but I rarely deal with leftovers. That one small adjustment really keeps the system efficient. Finally, I store both chicken and beef kebabs in freezer bins, neatly stacked and ready whenever I need them. I actually fry and freeze all type of kebabs and even lunches in these same freezer bins, which keeps everything organized and easy to use. These freezer bins comes with side handles which makes them very easy to pull out and handle. I like to cover the inside with cling wrap first to reduce air exposure. Once the kebabs are fried and completely cooled, I line the base with freezer paper. Parchment paper works too, but freezer paper holds up better. I place a single layer of kebabs, gently spray, then add another sheet before layering again. Make sure not to overcrowd the bin. Only place as many as comfortably fit. This makes it much easier to remove each kebab later without breaking. There are two simple things that help control excess oil in fried kebabs. First, always remove the kebabs onto parchment paper immediately after frying and let them cool completely before transferring them into the bins. This prevents trapped steam and excess oil. In the bins, use fresh parchment or freezer paper between layers. Second, the meat to lentil ratio I shared earlier makes these kebab richer in meat. Kebabs with more meat tend to absorb less oil compared to ones with a higher lentil portion. But you are the queen of your kitchen. No one knows your family and flavors better than you. I know a lot of mothers rely on freezer prep to stay ahead of busy days, and these small steps really help keep things organized and stress free. We all make Shami kebabs, but building a system around them has helped me manage so much better with four kids. No matter how organized we are, there are always days when we simply need reliable food backups. I have gone through two deliveries and postpartum phases with school going kids at home, and they never had to buy lunch from outside. Systems like this help me handle appointments, grocery runs, sick days, and all the unexpected challenges that come with motherhood. Now, the fried kebabs may not look as perfectly smooth as the freshly shaped ones, but the convenience they offer is unmatched, especially when you are managing a baby and a toddler. Having something ready to just warm and serve makes a real difference. Here you can see I keep just enough fried kebabs stacked in my freezer, while the labeled Ziploc portions go in as well, keeping everything in rotation and always ready. If I can build a system like this, you absolutely can too. It takes a little time to set up, but once it's in rotation, it gives you peace of mind and makes everyday management so much easier. And that's it, a full freezer system for beef and chicken shami kebabs, ready whenever life gets busy.